Data shows that there are overlapping areas of brain activation when individuals perform certain actions and when they process action-related words. This suggests that similar neural networks are involved in both action execution and the comprehension of action words. When individuals read or hear lag-related words, areas adjacent to and overlapping with regions involved in foot movements are activated. Similarly, arm-related words active areas adjacent to and overlapping with regions involved in finger movements. Face-related words activate areas adjacent to and overlapping with regions involved in tongue movements. These findings suggest that the processing of action words involves the reactivation or resimulation of the relevant actions in the brain. In other words, when we understand action words, our brain partially simulates or reactivates the neural patterns associated with performing those actions. Overall, fMRI research provides insights into the neural substrates involved in action processing and the comprehension of action words, highlighting the overlap between the brain regions responsible for executing actions and understanding their meaning. The brain lobes are associated with specific functions, and there are also sushi and fissures that separate these lobes. And here is a summary of the brain lobes and their associated functions as well as mentioned. Occipital lobe, located at the back of the brain. It contains the primary facial cortex and it is involved in processing visual information. Temporal lobe, found on the sides of the brain. It contains the auditory cortex and is involved in processing auditory information, as well as aspects of memory, language, and emotion. Parietal lobe, located on the top of the brain. It contains a cortex which processes sensory information related to touch, temperature, and body position. Frontal lobe, at the front of the brain. It contains the motor cortex, which is involved in planning and executing voluntary movements, as well as higher cognitive functions such as decision making, problem solving, and personality. A scissor separates the parietal lobe, which contains the cortex, from the lobe, which contains the visual cortex. It runs vertically along the back of the brain. These divisions and boundaries help to organize and understand the different functions and regions of the brain. fMRI is a technique that can be used to study human brain activity. The following are the advantages and the disadvantages of fMRI. It has advantages such as it has good resolution and can detect the location of brain activity. Blood flow can be measured without the need for injection of radioactive substances, making it safer than PET scans. It can be used to study many different types of neural activities, including vision, hearing, language, memory, and so on. Disadvantages: it has poor temporal resolution and can only detect the approximate time range of brain activity. For some neural activities, such as rapid cognitive processes or brief stimuli, it may not provide sufficient temporal resolution. Affected by factors such as head movement and breathing, it may lead to data noise and inaccuracy. In practice, fMRI can be used for many different types of research, including physical, psychological, medicine, and so on. By combining fMRI with other methods such as EEG and TMS, it is possible to gain a more comprehensive understanding of brain function and behavior. In the future, fMRI technology will continue to develop and may expand to a wider range of applications, such as the treatment of mental disorders. fMRI experimental data typically includes a large amount of image and data. The analysis of fMRI experimental data usually includes the following steps: 1. Pre-treatment. 2. Statistical analysis. 3. Visualization. The analysis of fMRI experimental data requires the use of processional software such as SPM, FSL, AF, and I. These tools can help researchers effectively analyze and interpret fMRI data and extract useful information.